Hello, this is Dr. Charmaine Gregory, and this is the Nocturnist Diary. Doing a series currently called Working Mom Tips, and today I just want to talk about my experience with the cherubs doing chores. I know that I put a question out on my Facebook page, and I got a wide variety of responses as far as what ages to start and what kind of chores to start with, and how doing chores impacts the cherubs' lives. And it just really made me remember and think back about my own childhood and how I cannot remember a time when I was not doing quote-unquote chores. And it started with simple things like keeping my room straight, making sure that my closet was neat, making sure that I had my bed made, things of that nature, which seemed like pretty simple tasks. And I honestly cannot remember what age it was that I started doing those. And I do know, though, that I was at least washing dishes and cleaning the kitchen by the time I was 4 or 5 years old. And by the time I was about 8, I was ironing my school uniform and getting myself prepared for school the day before. So the chores definitely, or I shouldn't say, I guess I may want to rephrase whether I call them chores or not. I would call them life skills that are essential for us to be able to function as adults later on. And by making these things become habitual in childhood and be part of supporting the family and making sure the family is functioning in a healthy and well-oiled manner is what's really going to be, it's going to reinforce it and going to make it fun. Hey, Lori, thanks for joining. It's what's going to make it fun. So, now, for us, it's kind of funny because, like I said, I was doing these quote-unquote chores or life skills for as long as I can remember, and I don't ever remember thinking about it as quote-unquote work. I always thought it was just what was expected, and I am grateful for having done those things because by the age of 10 I had migrated to this country, and I was pretty much functioning at a pretty high level at that point because I was making meals and getting myself together and doing all these things. Hey Lisa, thanks for joining. And I think that had I not started doing those things when I was a younger child, I would not have been able to be successful at age 10, being more independent. So that has transcended into my adult life for many reasons. Going off to college, I was well versed in how to do my own laundry, how to balance a checkbook, all these things that were essential and perhaps would not have necessarily been learned had I not been doing these quote-unquote life skills or chores. So, the bad part about all this, though, is that we did not try to get our cherubs involved in these life skills at a very early point. We should have really gotten them going, right around toddler age, putting away toys, things of that nature. But I say all this to say that it's not too late to turn things around because I would say probably about 2 years ago we decided, okay, no, they need to be doing some basic things. So now they know they have particular roles, like my son takes out the garbage and he takes out recycling, and they all clean their rooms, they all clean their workspace for the homeschool, they all do those types of things. And my son is very interested, he's 8, he's very interested in cooking, so we're doing a lot more things with cooking and learning those skills. So and they really aren't tied to anything monetary. So we initially toyed around with that at the beginning, like should we have the chores be linked to money, and decided against that ultimately. And it's actually worked out really well because now they're building on their life skills. They're building on their ability to do things. Even the 4-year-old was helping with sorting the laundry and putting things in the washer and in the dryer. My now 7-year-old, she does all the things with the kitchen. Like, so she makes sure that the kitchen is cleared for the meal. She sets a table. She sets a meal table, by the way. I have to give her the accolade for that, because she sets a mean table. She has like the salad fork, the dinner fork. She has the full Monty as far as setting the table. She does that really well, and she's also responsible for clearing the table, wiping down the mats, putting everything away. So they all have their roles, and we're hoping to keep expanding their roles as time goes on. But I think that they are definitely learning responsibility. They're learning that they have an important role in the family and how the family functions. And I think that's really the biggest thing about quote unquote chores or life skills that is going to be so helpful for their development, and for them to be good citizens as they go off and leave us, because hopefully the baby birds will leave the nest at some point. So I say all this to say that whatever your decision is about chores or life skills, it's really up to you and your child, and when you want to start them doing what activities. But it is definitely well worth it, because they will thank you when they go off to college and they know how to do laundry, and they're not fumbling and bumbling like I saw some of my peers doing when I was off at school. And I mean, it blew my mind. People didn't even know how to use didn't know how to use a washing machine, didn't know how much soap to put in there, or what kind of colors to put together. I mean, it's basic stuff. So I implore you to please let your kids at least know how to do basic things like their laundry, even if they're not going to be doing like the scrubbing the tub and scrubbing the toilet. At least they can know how to survive on a basic level. So those are basically my points. Again, it's up to you when you start and what you have them do, but just from the crowdsourcing responses that I got on the Facebook question, usually by age 5 they're able to do basic things like make their own bed, pick their own clothing, things of that nature. So you can at least start there, taking out the garbage, straightening up the common areas. You can start with those types of things and then build from there on. So I hope that this was helpful. This is basically my experience and kind of like anecdotal experiences from a few other people, but I think that it's pretty much it's pretty good solid advice. So yeah, so if you found this helpful, please go ahead and comment below, share with a friend. And this is Dr. Charmaine Gregory, and this is the Nocturnist Diary. I hope that you will be strong, be brave, and unleash your greatness.